What's up, everybody? Welcome to Women in Hip Hop Podcast. I'm your host, Jazzie Belle, and on this show, we focus on the many talents and influences from women within the culture. Today, I'm excited to be back doing another episode of Women in Hip Hop. I have a guest co-host with me today, very familiar face. She was on the last episode with me holding it down. She did her thing. Shout out to my girl, Kimmy Cakes. Y'all know her as a co-creator, producer, host of Private Listed Podcast. Y'all see her interview some of the stars and the power verse, all the 50 Cent shows, child. From the people in front of the TV to the people behind the scenes like showrunners, et cetera, et cetera. So give it up to my girl, Kimmy Cakes.
Woo! So glad to be back.
I'm so happy to have you back. All right, listen, we have to get into a couple of things in regards to women in hip hop, in regards to things that's going on in hip hop period and pop culture. So first up, let's discuss Latto and 21 Savage being exposed. Finally, they had a 5-year run of being under the radar. It's been talked about, like I said, for 5 years that they have been in a relationship. And thanks to these meddling kids, these meddling paparazzis, it seemed like they got caught in the act. I'm not going to lie, when I saw it, I was like, damn, they got my girl. But I was also excited to see them together and to see that this 5-year rumor is actually true. So shout out to 21 Savage and Latto. I want to hear from you, Kimmy. How do you feel about the Latto and 21 Savage getting caught together conversation?
Now, remember last week what I said about this, right? Not even if they tattooed your name, should you be posting them? I kind of feel bad for her because I know that she was very intentional with trying to keep it under wraps, and not necessarily that they're hiding each other, but like to have a wall up, so to speak. So I feel bad. Is that the right way to put it? I feel bad that people are chasing her down or trying to get pictures of them together. Like, you know what you know, but everybody else doesn't need to know. Like, we knew that they were together. I didn't need any confirmation or any picture. Like, we knew. And I kind of feel bad that now she has to go through that. But hopefully they're still able to keep it private and they do what they do.
I love, and I always thought they made a great couple. I know there's rumors that he allegedly is married. I don't know, child. I can't really speak to that, but I will just put it out there that that's alleged. So a lot of people say that's the reason why they kept it under wraps. And here's the thing too: if that is the case,
You see my point?
celebrities.
Do you see my point? Do you see my point? Do you see my points?
But when I saw that, you also know how celebrities could be. I'm not saying this what Latto did, but sometimes celebrities like to call paparazzis on themselves. Latto probably was like, or whoever was like, I'm tired of being, hidden. Like, what's up? What's the Sugar Honey Iced Tea? Sis? That's a plug for your album, which I still think is a classic. I think it didn't get enough credit. So shout out to Latto. And like I said, there were a lot of like coincidences throughout the years. You would see them like seemingly having matching tattoos. You would see the background and their stories looking very similar. Like, y'all look like y'all on the same plane, same boat, same vacation. But she wanted to keep it under wraps. So I like to respect people's privacy in that sense. So I hear what you're saying when you say you feel bad if that's what she really wanted. But if she didn't, I see you, sis. That's my man. She's always been vocal with that, and maybe it's time that it is exposed. I don't know, but I am a fan of both, and I'm a fan of this couple. So shout out.
You bring up a very good point. You brought up something good that I didn't think of initially because I was on the train of because my own biases are showing here. I'm like, oh no, keep it private. But you do bring up something like, it has been a while. And people do have a track record of calling paparazzi on themselves. And she's like, oh, let me just test the waters. Because it could be that one person is keeping it private because of other things that they have going on, whereas the other person wants to flaunt it, not necessarily flaunt, but to be open about it, or more open than they have been traditionally. But hey, my advice is to always keep it private, so that this way, even if he is married, nobody else has to know, right?
Yeah,
Besides you two.
Yeah, but here's the thing too. I will say, being a woman that was in a relationship where I feel not necessarily hidden, but let's keep it private. I do feel it's more advantageous for the men because they get to cheat in peace. You know what I mean? And I peep game, and I was like, oh, that's why you want to keep it private or keep it low key. Because if I expose our relationship, then I'm exposing you and our
Mm,
situation to your other women that you cheating on me with. So sometimes that's not always good. So ladies, take heed to that. I'm not saying that's their situation. I'm not saying it's yours. I'm just saying at one point in time it was mine, and I ain't like it. So it
hmm.
ain't never gonna happen again, and that's that. Moving on, we have to talk about my girl Cardi B. Okay, Cardi B, her court situation. We have to congratulate her. She has won
Yes.
her assault lawsuit. I don't even remember old girl name. Honestly, I don't really think it matters. Kimmy, if you know it, go ahead and shout the girl out. But
No.
I love when Cardi B came out and spoke out to the public and said, hey, I'm taking this on the chin right now, but moving forward, don't look at me as a money grab. I work hard for my money. I work hard for my kids. I make sure that everybody eats. Don't think that I'm just going to be your meal ticket. Next time this happens to me, I'm going to countersuit. And I had to applaud her for that because I do think,
Hmm.
especially when you look at cases like Diddy settling very fast 30 million, everybody's like, oh, okay, I need to hop on this money train and get to the bag as well. And so they's leaving celebrities to feel very vulnerable. I think Cardi B had to shut it down and let people know don't play with her. And I applaud her for that. So what did you think about the case?
So I have so many notes. But so for the first thing, the press conference that she did afterward, directly afterward, and she threw a pen at someone after being found not guilty or not liable in the courtroom. She comes outside and throws a pen. And then she does give that speech and she says, listen, don't try it. And I was like, thank God she said that because it's frivolous. And that's the right word that she uses there. And I was like, good for her. But she said, don't think you're going to come do this. And then I'm not, she said, this time I'm being nice. Next time, not so much. But
Mhm.
for the other little thing that she exposes, and I hope you want us to talk about this because
Absolutely. Mhm.
later on in the evening, she released a video and shows that the pregnancy bump that all of you people were speculating about actually is not a pregnancy bump at all. Talk about good album rollout. Come on, Cardi. Come on. I loved it. Yesterday was just, I had such a blast with Cardi yesterday. And then the new song. Can we talk about that too?
We had to talk about the new song because I got dragged as being a hater for not liking imaginary players, and I gave my reason. I tell people all the time, I am a hip hop head. I give constructive criticism. I'm not an online hater. Okay, when
Mm.
I listen to something, I'm looking at it from a stance of a fan and saying, okay, this is hot and this is not, and that's it. It's just
Hmm.
my opinion. I'm not dragging nobody's name. I'm not saying this person should never be rapping or shouldn't exist because I don't feel that way about Cardi B. I think Cardi B is a great rapper. Now, I didn't like imaginary players. I told y'all I love outside. Now there was a record that leaked, and it's called Bodega Baddie. My brother sent it to me, and I remember as soon as he sent it, I was like, oh, "This is what I'm talking about. This
This is it.
is it." The last time I said what I said about imaginary players, I said, "Nah, sis, this ain't it." Bodega Baddie, this is it.
That's it.
This is it.
Yes,
But
yes,
this is
yes.
the Cardi that I want. It's sometimes you have to do what it is you know how to do. Like Martin said, do the thing you do. And Cardi B, what I was trying to tell you last time is that your delivery is what makes you a great rapper. But you have to stay in your lane in a sense where like what works for you. You know what I mean? And I just feel like this type of song, this type of beat, the way you spit with conviction worked for you. And I love the record. And I didn't know if it was a official record until you said after the court proceedings, she revealed whatever was going on with her stomach. Obviously, she's not. Maybe she is. The point is, it's none of our business.
Hmm.
Was dancing to it, and I was like, "Yes, you mean to tell me this is going to be on the album? We need this, Cardi. So congratulations, because I think you got a hit on your hands."
Yes, I completely agree. And last week we were on the same side of the fence where I was like, yeah, this is not it. And I do applaud her effort because I was like, oh, if this was like a mixtape track, we would be fine. I give her an A for effort, right? But
Mhm.
Bodega Baddies, like as soon as I put it on, because Jazzie sent it to me, and when she got it,
Yeah.
I put it on, and my kids immediately started dancing to it. We had a whole little dance session, everything.
Mhm.
So I think that once you hear something and it automatically clicks like that, I know when something is gonna go. You could feel it, and Bodega Baddies is really up her alley. I don't know if I would call Cardi a great rapper, but she is a great entertainer. She is a great person to listen to, a great person to look at, and she's definitely entertaining. Even with her courtroom after courtroom speech yesterday, thoroughly entertained. And when she's dancing with the corset on, I was like, she knows exactly what she's doing. I'm happy. I can't wait to hear the album now.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the album either. What is it? What is it called again?
The song
No, the
or
album.
the album? Hold on, I don't remember
Oh,
the name
Am
of
I
it.
the Drama?
Am I the drama? Yes, she is the drama. She's the drama.
Child, if that's really a question, you got your answer after the court proceeding. She is the drama, and it comes out September 19th, I believe. Also, a
Okay,
little
yes.
bit about that throwing the pen or marker or whatever it is. Please, man, whoever you are, don't use that as an opportunity to sue Cardi. I do wish she kind of like held it down and restrained herself from throwing it. I was a bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie. But as a fellow Libra, I understand your frustration because he tried it on your time. Bringing up Offset, bringing up Stefan Diggs, it was a lot, and it was really disrespectful. I'm thankful that she did it after winning the lawsuit versus in between because that particular reporter, if you want to call him that, tried her before that and she held it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine if she did it prior to winning her lawsuit, and then the jury or people have to look at that and say, see, you gave old girl a reason to look like she's telling the truth, which I
Mm-hmm.
personally don't believe she was telling the truth on you, Cardi. I really do think she looked at you like it was a money grab. So thank God that you were freed from that or being held liable of what we are or what I consider to be a lie. And just next time to try to hold it down, sis, because you are a target, easy target, because you are a hothead and you are hot wired to slap her. We all saw what happened at the Met Gala, however many years ago that was. So we know it's on site. We heard what you did with Ron Ali, so we know it's on site. We know you don't play. Thank God you wasn't or am not pregnant. Again, we don't know. But I just want Cardi to get to the point in her life where she can have self control. I do want that
Mm-hmm.
for her. I know that's a struggle because she's still very young, and when it comes to celebrities, sometimes I feel like they can feel like they're invincible. I don't want that for her. So I just think she probably need to take some anger management classes for herself so people don't try her like that again. You feel me?
Mm. I get what you're saying. I have a question for you though, because you just made me think of something. Do you think that with this not guilty or her being found not liable in this recent case, that this goes under the bracket of her continuing to feel invincible? Because people keep bringing up that her lawyers, and her famous line, got a lawyer who's going to eat the charges. Like she keeps winning in these cases. So does this help? Does this help with her humility a little bit? Or
That's a
no, or
great.
is it going to make it worse?
I hope it won't make it worse. But that's a great question, and that's the thing that I was posing too. It's like, all right, Cardi, because it's crazy for you to after you just won your lawsuit that you went out and thought it was okay to even do that. Um, I hope that's not the case for Cardi. I think Cardi, to protect yourself, going to get some anger management, girl, because a lot of people, like I said, are going to take advantage of you, and they're going to think that you are taking advantage of your celebrity. And I don't want you to be one of those celebrities that's constantly in the beginning beating the system, and then
Mm.
eventually will be guilty of something, and then you will lose 25-30 million dollars. I don't want that for Cardi. I actually don't want that for nobody, but I definitely don't want that for Cardi because she is young and she is still a hothead, and girl, get you some anger management. Everything will be okay, girl. Next up, one of my favorite artists out right now in the past, I don't know, a few years, she's been doing her thing. My girl Doja Cat has been seen
Mm.
online defending her rap skills, her rap ability. I told y'all before, she said stop playing with her pen. But she has a new album coming out. It's considered a pop album. It's called Vi, and she looks amazing. She sounds amazing. But again, it's a 80s pop type of vibe. So a Twitter user was online saying that I hope now her fans could stop trying to insert her into the female rap category or as a rapper that we should respect. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much that's what he said. And Doja Cat bombed back. She said, "Y'all gonna quit playing with me. Listen to my last album, Scarlet. Now, 85% of it was me rapping. Not just rapping, but I'm lyrical as well. So consider me to be a rapper. Respect my pen, respect my skill set, and don't play with me." So I'm wondering how you feel about Doja Cat defending her rap skills, and do you even consider her a rapper yourself?
I do consider her a rapper. I'm surprised. So with the new album, so what's the makeup of the new album? It's 80s inspired? Is
It's
she
a
going
very,
to be rapping?
you know what? The single "Jealous Type" I love. The video is amazing. She's giving
Hmm.
very much Vanity Six. She's giving Apollonia. It's giving Prince vibes. So yeah, it's definitely 80s soft rock pop. But she is rapping on that song too. She's spitting a few bars on that song. So I think we're going to get some lyrics with this album, but she's promoted it as a pop album.
Okay. You I think she's a rapper and I think she can rap. Like she can definitely rap and she can definitely write, she can definitely rhyme. She may not be traditional in the way how we normally think of rap, and I think we would probably put her in the category of more artistic because she plays with different parts of the genre or different genres. However, I do have to push back on something she said about respecting her pen. You have to respect your pen too, right? Because if you're gonna rap, girl, rap. Like we want to hear you rap. And I'm not saying that you can't. I know that you can. But if you're going to genre bend a little bit, and I'm not saying that you have to stick into one box, but if you want to be respected as a rapper, you got to rap. It's very simple. And you're not always rapping. You dibble and dabble. Just like I don't know. How do you feel about Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
Great
Is
question.
that an R&B album or is that a rap album?
I consider it a rap album because I think
Really?
I consider. But to your point, and I think it's a great question, a great conversation. I've had these debates before. People mostly consider that an R&B album. I do not.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because Lauryn Hill kicked in the game, kicked through the door as a rapper first
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to music.
You
So,
right? Keep going.
right. So I think, just with her success with the Fugees and yes, with her solo album, she's doing a little bit of both. But that's what happens when you multifaceted and multi-talented. I consider Doja all of the above. I consider her a rapper. And I think because she didn't kick through the door necessarily rapping first, to your point, like coming out saying I'm a rapper, I think that's why she gets put on the back burner, being respected as such. But I think that's why she dedicated this last album to showcasing her rap skills. So because of that, I consider her a rapper as well as other things. But yes, I do consider Miseducation of Lauryn Hill a rap album. I know a lot of people disagree with me. But again, the reason why I do is because she came in the game as a rapper and she just showcased other skills on the album as well. But to your point, Doja Cat did say, "Hey, I'm no different than a Nicki Minaj, and a Nicki Minaj can sing and rap as well, and no one is questioning her as being a rapper or not." And I kind of get that.
So I remember back in the years yonder, I think this is probably like over 10 years ago, right? Before, when she first moved to Young Money, because remember at one point she was managed by Deb,
Mhm. Oh,
Waka
that.
Flocka's mom.
Hmm.
And I remember Deb saying something along the lines of, I'm confused about what the music is now. Like, is she singing? Is she rapping? And I remember thinking the same thing because I remember Beam Me Up, Scotty. I remember all of the stuff that she came out. Like, you can sing a little hook here and there, but are you going to rap? And I'm one of those people, like, if you're going to rap. I don't mind if you sing a little hook, right? I don't care. I don't care if you sing a couple songs here or there, right? But you have to rap. And then when we got things like Starships, um, and Super Bass and things like that, it just didn't fall in line with what we wanted or what we were used to. And people sometimes always want to fall into the boat of saying, "Oh no, it's just my artistic expression." But let's be real here. You trying to cross over. You want pop fans. That's what you want. So Doja, don't play in my face and say respect my pen, but then you also want to go over and be on the pop side. Like pick a lane. Like you said, to Cardi, stay in your lane. What's your lane? I need to know what your lane is.
Well, Kimmy said what the fuck she said, y'all. Although I disagree, I love your take. I love your take. I love your take. And yes, you threw it back in my face as far as I'm telling Cardi to stay in her lane. But let me tell you why. Now I gotta expound. The reason why I'm telling Cardi to stay in her lane because Cardi isn't what you said earlier really considered a rapper
Mm,
a true artist in that sense. But I respect Cardi because what a lot of people have said she's an entertainer. She's someone that's great to look at. She's great to laugh at, not in that sense, but you know we laughing with you.
mm,
You know she's
mm-hmm.
entertaining and she's using the music industry to expand what it is that she got going on. Expand that bag, expand that celebrity. And I'm a fan of that. But respectfully to say Cardi, I can't compare her to the Nickies and the Dojas. I personally just can't, or the Lauryn Hills. I don't really put her in that. So when I say stay in your lane, I mean you got to do what works for you because imaginary players ain't your lane. It just didn't work for you, but it's okay.
But
It's
it's
okay.
still rap. It's
But
still rap.
see, rap and lyricist is two different things. We've had this conversation throughout the years. So I say she can rap because she's rapping. I can rap.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be great
Mm-hmm.
at it, although I am. But at one point in time I was. But no, but that's what I mean by Cardi B. She's a great rapper, meaning she's delivering raps. She's delivering bars. So that makes her a rapper. So she's great at that, but she's not a lyricist. She's not an
Yeah, I
artist
mean,
in
there's
that sense. So that's the difference. That's why I say stay in your lane, do what works for you. Invasion of Privacy was a hit for a reason. And that's why when you say hit the pockets in the last episode, I'm sorry,
mm-hmm,
you can
mm-hmm.
hear in the Bodega Baddie record
Because
killing in every pocket Bodega Baddie. Like it was like, ah, like I'm so excited for this record. I can't even contain myself. But that's what works for her. It's funny you mentioned the Nicki Minaj and the Starships and those songs. She got dragged. I remember years ago. I want to say it's about Hot 97, Flex, and all of them. And I remember hating that for her because when you are multi-talented, why not tap into everything God has blessed you with? Don't question why I'm blessed with the skill to know how to sing, the skill to know how to rap, the skill to know how to write. Show all your skill sets. The same with Lauryn Hill. They can't help it that they just got it. And I don't think because she does a song like Super Bass that people should have questioned her in the past saying that she's, trying to be pop. Nicki was just trying to be successful and she was great at doing it all. And I think Doja
mm-hmm.
Cat, we bringing it back to her. I just feel like she's just one of those people, and it's not easy to push your pen. It's not easy to really be a true, full-rounded artist. So for her fighting for the notoriety of that and the respect of that, I commend her for that.
It's not necessarily about talent or ability that I was referencing. So when I brought back up Cardi, it's not saying that she is the best lyricist or that she can't or can rap. It's more so about the staying in your lane part or establishing your lane. One of the reasons that you gave earlier for Lauryn Hill was that she came in the game as a rapper and we established her as a rapper. Same thing with Nicki. That's how she's different. That was the differentiating point between Nicki, Lauryn, even Cardi.
Mm-hmm.
And this is not talking about ability, but about how they established themselves and how they came in, and we knew exactly what they were. And then we were able to peel back the layers and find out, oh, this person is actually super duper talented. They can sing, write, rap, act, do everything under the sun. But I think that with Doja, we weren't exposed to her as being a rapper first.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe some people were. And maybe that's why she's consistently fighting the narrative of her not being or being respected as a rapper first, and why we don't respect her pen as much. Not we, but why some people may not look at her in that light, because she kind of dibbled and dabbled in the pop stuff first, or more outwardly, and that's how we came to know her.
Yeah.
It's almost like if Lizzo released a gangster rap album tomorrow, like, girl, we know you can rap, but that's not how you came in as. And people, it's hard for people to adjust and for them to see that. And I'm not saying that I don't see that Doja is a rapper. That's the first thing I said. Like, I actually know that girl can rap and she can write. Like, that girl can rap and she can rhyme and she is a lyricist. She can put things together. But the point why I understand why she's upset, but I also have to tell her, like, girl, they don't know because you didn't tell them, and they don't have the rubric to look at to say, oh, she's always been doing this. Here is the example of that.
Yeah. Well, y'all know Vi is coming out September 26th, so make sure y'all support Doja Cat. And let's see what she's really giving on this album.
I want to see. I'm curious.
I'm excited for Doja. Like, I'm excited for me because, I mean, that's why I have this podcast. I love artistry. I love new music, and I love it when the girls really tap in and get into their bag and stay consistent. So Doja Cat is one of the ones that's been consistently holding it down. So I love her for that.
Mm-hmm.
Child, let's get into some things with this one. Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion versus AKademiks. There was a deposition that went down with AKademiks, who's a vlogger, blogger. I don't even know what to call him, honestly. But he had a deposition with Megan Thee Stallion's lawyers, pretty much, I guess, discussing why he talked bad on her, or like, why is he constantly dragging her and calling her a liar. I saw a clip where he said she's a liar and I don't believe in liars. And he's been very open and vocal about free Tory Lanez and him being team Tory Lanez. So has other people like Drake, etc., etc. Um, I guess I could give it to you and you letting me know how do you feel about it, because maybe you could have more insight on what's really happening. Like, why is this deposition even happening? Is it because I don't really know why this is happening? Do you know?
Either they're going to go the harassment route because he keeps belaboring the point that he's been trying to make about Meg, or there's going to be some sort of gag put on him, whereas he can't mention her name anymore.
That would
Um,
be.
but when I was looking up why the deposition happened, I wasn't really clear. So hold on. There's something that I wanted to pull up before we even started because I was looking for this last night.
Mm-hmm.
But as to why it happened, I can't get to the bottom of it. I don't know what they want the outcome to be. Like why they're
I
doing
saw
this
in the
now.
clips. I saw in the clips that the lawyers was asking him, did Drake pay for you to say this? Did Nicki Minaj pay for you to say this? Did any Tory Lanez, any media outlets pay for you to be team Tory Lanez? And I think because of that, he is a media platform, and
Mm-hmm.
it can sway people's thoughts and decisions about a human being. So to your point, I think it probably has something to do with defamation, maybe. And if that is the case, then I understand the lawsuit. Um, but here's the thing that we have to understand when it comes to Megan Thee Stallion. That girl has been through a lot. That girl has been shot in the foot. I'm not about to argue that. I'm not about to argue this case anymore. She won. That's it. I think it's time we need to bury the conversation on whether she is telling the truth or not. I think it's time for Tory Lane's team to do what it is they got to do. If there's an appeal that they're working on, respectfully do that. But for everybody to keep questioning whether she's telling the truth or not, or to drag this girl or to talk down on her, I am personally tired of it. I think Tory Lane's do what you got to do to get up out of there. I don't wish harm on nobody. When I heard that he got almost stabbed to death, I hated that. I don't want that for nobody. That really bother me in the sense that another human being almost died. So I'm not on the side of, oh well, he's in there, throw away the key. No, I want him to pay for what he did, and he got accused of it. He's doing the time, and let that just be that. Now, again, attorneys, y'all do what y'all got to do to fight that and appeal. But for AKademiks and all these other people accusing her of lying, here's the thing: what I would say about lying. Let's get some levity to this. First of all, the only thing we know for her to lie about so far is her fucking Tory Lanez. And I get it. I ain't fucked a few people that I wish I could hit the unfuck button my damn self, okay? Let's just be clear. Was it smart for her to lie to Gayle King? No. Did she lie about that? Yes. Don't you? Didn't you? I wish I could hit the unfuck button right there. I did not deal with that man. I did erase that out of my memory. And I think in that moment, in that vulnerable moment, she was just like, I'm not trying to go there. Like, that didn't happen. Who, me? That's the old body. This the new body. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Megan Thee Stallion. And I think that's why people are dragging you. And I empathize with that because I think we all wish we could take a couple of bodies back and say that didn't happen. And I think because of that, a lot of people is accusing her of being a liar or dragging her and saying that, Tory Lanez didn't really shoot her, when we all heard the recordings of him in jail apologizing about it. Again, I think it's up to his lawyers to do what they have to do to get him out of prison. But I also think people like AKademiks has to be careful of constantly dragging someone like her or anybody, especially a man. I get very funny when I see men in media, especially in hip hop media spaces, doing that, because it's like it's bullying at the end of the day. It's bullying. You can be Team Tory Lanez, but calm the fuck down with dragging this girl and making it seem like she's like the most horrible person that ever lived. Like, and I see a lot of men in media doing that, and I think it's so unfair because y'all don't keep that same energy for the men that be doing fuck shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to calm down. Whew, almost broke my damn light yelling at y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to calm down on Megan Thee Stallion and let Tory Lanez attorney do their thing when it comes to the appeal. And stop with the bullying of Megan Thee Stallion. I don't like that.
You said it all. I don't like the bullying, and he's definitely bullying her. And the point that you brought up, with the point that you brought up that I agree with the most is these men who do that, when they see other men who are in worse situations, they don't have that same energy. I've seen people apologize for and be apologists for Diddy's behavior, all type of behavior within the on the hip hop scene, and all of a sudden because she said something that wasn't true to Gayle King, now all of a sudden she's the biggest liar in town. That two things can be true at once. She could have lied about the body, right? But there were bullet fragments in her foot. or there were fragments of glass or whatever it was in her foot. Did someone shoot a gun? Did something happen to her foot? We know that those things happen. So calling her a liar and continuously doing it, and the attorneys asking him about who paid him to do this. I always say wherever there's smoke, there's fire. So they must know something, because they definitely asked him about record labels that asked him or paid him money for promotion, and he did admit to being paid money to promote certain records or promote different artists from different record labels. Now, did they specifically ask if Tory Lanez's record label paid? I don't see that in the article that I'm reading, but that's what they were alluding to. And it does kind of give like you're being paid to fanboy over or something, or to just change the narrative about something. So we'll see what the deposition ends up with, or what they come out with after the deposition is over.
And that's that.
Mhm.
Thank you, Kimmy, for your input on that. Well said, sis. Moving on. I do want to shout out Doechii. Shout out to Doechii. She's going to be going on tour starting October 14th. The name of the tour is called Live from the Swamp Tour. I
Mm.
love Doechii. I'm excited for her. I think, Kimmy, you looked at the list of tour dates and you didn't see that
Mhm.
she's going to be in New York, and we're both in New York. So I would have loved
I
to
know.
have had the opportunity to attend. Maybe I will in other states and cities. But I just wanted to definitely shout her out and say that she's been having a hell of a run. Hell of
Mm.
a run. Yeah,
Well
Alligator Bites,
deserved.
well deserved. Alligator Bites that never heals did amazing. She won the best new artist. Was it best new artist or best new rap? I think it's best new artist for the
Hmm.
Grammy. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Grammy. Hmm.
And I don't know, it's just something about her that I really like. I think she's authentic. I think she's genuine. I love when people are genuine, and I believe in her, and I believe her every time she speaks. Everything she does, I'm like, this is her authentic self. And I'm looking forward to see what she does on this tour. What do you think about Doechii?
I love Doechii so much. Oh my gosh. I'm pretty sad that she's not going to be in either New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut. I think the closest place is going to be Boston. I think there may be a DC show as well. But it's a couple dates. It's a short tour, but at least she's out on the road. And then after this, she'll be creating more stuff for us, and we'll see what the Swamp Princess has to do after. I'm kind of sad she's not going to be here though. I've never seen
No,
her perform. Have you?
I have yet to see her perform, but we all see her get down on that Grammy stage and how that to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
me
I
is
mean
one of the best
live.
performances. Oh no, I've never seen her live, but the reason why I'm
Yeah.
excited, hopefully I can make it to Boston, or hopefully she's in my hometown, Detroit, Detroit. I don't mind
Hold
going
on.
home.
Let me see. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you. I'm
I
gonna
don't
tell you
mind
right
going
now.
home to check out my girl
I feel
because I
you.
think she's just such a creative person, and I saw what she did at the Grammys.
Hmm.
And I see what she do with the commercial. I love what she does with her looks. So I want to witness that in person. I am a fan, and I'm looking forward to it. I do want to do a sidebar real quick, and maybe you give me some insight on this. What's up with this
Okay.
plant conversation? Why do people call her an industry plant? What does that even mean, and why are they calling Doechii that?
You know, when people aren't with you when you're grinding throughout the beginning processes of your career and it seems like you've had overnight success, it's almost like they want to diminish your success by calling you a plant because this girl has been grinding for years. I mean,
Yeah.
rapping and creating for years. And
Mm-hmm.
she's one of the people that I'm actually happy that people are recognizing her talent, and she's still staying true to her artistic side. She's still rapping even though she has even though she does have crossover hits, she's still rapping in those crossover hits, right? And she's still
Okay.
staying true to herself. I love the faces that you're making, but she's still staying true to herself. And I think it's kind of a slap in the face to call her a plant, considering all of the work that she's put in over the past
Yeah.
what 5, 6, maybe even 8 years.
Yeah.
Like it's honestly a slap. But you know when people say plant, they I think what they mean by this is just someone who record labels or the machine is behind, and they are put in your face, plastered all over, and you're almost force fed them to and accept what they're putting out. But this is someone that was organic. It wasn't GMO. It wasn't made in a factory. Like she's been doing this for forever. So she wouldn't fall under the category of plant. Now,
Oh.
I have someone who I do think is a plant.
It sounded like you was about to make a segue to who you thought was a plant was. Care
I
to
did.
share, my friend?
I did.
You got
I
something for us?
do. I do. I wonder about Tyler. I do.
Oh.
I wonder about
Oh.
Tyler and
I
how she
heard that
came on
before
this.
too.
Yeah. I do wonder about that. I'm not saying that she is or she isn't because again, I think that we use the word plant or the term plant loosely, especially when people just hop on the scene out of nowhere and they have this huge success. We haven't seen their grind, we haven't seen any of what they have done prior, and they aren't really connected or tethered to anything with a foundational base within the culture, and they kind of want to slip in and out and just appease only a certain sector of fans. So I do wonder about that, and considering how her last project did recently, it's looking like she was a plant.
Did it not do well?
No, she only did 3,000 units in the first week. You didn't even know that it came out. And that should answer everything we need to know.
Give me cakes, okay?
Yeah.
Full persuasion. Pow, pow.
I'm
I
just
love it.
here. I'm just here with the news. That's it. I got the
I'm
same
just here.
Google like everybody else.
I appreciate your honesty. And honestly, you putting me on for real. Like, I never really understood what that term plant meant. I think you eloquently broke it down so it can
Well,
forever
thank
be
you.
broken. So,
Ooh.
thanks for putting me on. And now, although I'm not well versed in Tyla's music like that, but the way
Mm-hmm.
that you broke it down, it does seem like she came out of nowhere. And I've heard her um, be called a plant by people.
Mm. Mm.
So I guess that's the reason why you, like I said, you broke it down. I can't really speak to it because I'm not well versed on Tyla's trajectory as far as her career. So that's interesting, but I will be doing some more research thanks to you. Um, don't forget, you guys, not Doja, Doechii's tour, live from the Swamp Tour, is going down starting October 14th. It's a lot
Mm-hmm.
going on for Libra season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay.
In Chicago. We should go to the Chicago show.
Let's go to Shot Town. Enough said. We're gonna figure that out. I do want to shout out some more rappers before we go to some of the
Mm-hmm.
women in hip hop that's, you know, been in the headlines, that's been, dropping some music. Just want to get your take on it. I don't know if you heard it. Shout out to Rubi Rose. She had a song called It's On that came out. I heard the record. I like the record. I think Rubi
Mm-hmm.
Rose is one of those people because she's so beautiful and so sexy, and she's
Mm-hmm.
not afraid to flaunt it. That people probably aren't really listening to what she has to say. Maybe that's her fault if you want to call it that. But I think if you listen with your eyes closed and not be so caught up with her beauty, that you may like her music. I'm just shouting out the song It's On. I really do like it, and I think the girl can rap. Are you familiar with Rubi Rose?
I am familiar with Ruby Rose. Um, I'm more of a Mona Leo fan or Ken the Man. So yeah, I'll give Ruby Rose a try. I'll listen to it, but I
Okay.
am familiar with her. So, but I don't know if she's my cup of tea yet. But I'll give her a shot.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm shouting her out because she dropped something recently, so that's why. But
Hmm.
definitely Mona Leo, top five. I think a lot of people slipping on her. Shout out to my peoples in Texas, Houston, Texas. That is, Mona
Yeah.
Leo is a beast. Same with Ken the Man. I want to say she's from Houston as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
Houston female rappers is doing their thing. Don't think what I'm saying. I'm not tapped into you two in particular. I had Ken the Man on this show before, so I'm a fan. Mona Leo,
Yes,
I
love
ran into
her.
her. Yeah, I love both of them. Mona Leo, I ran into her at an event in LA on the red carpet, so I interviewed her a little bit on there for this platform as well. So big
Oh,
fan of
how
both.
was she? I'm curious.
They were great. Mona Leo was so humble. She was being honored at the like Give Her Flowers event, and that Heather Lyrie does along with I want to say Live Nation she's a part of. And yeah, I interviewed her. She was being honored, but I felt like she was so surprised that she was being honored because she felt like she still has so much more to do. And I tell people this
Hmm.
all the time. Like to your point, when people don't see the grind, they just think
Hmm.
success happened overnight, but you didn't see the 10-year grind that it took to get here. And that's why people are giving you your flowers, Mona Leo and Doechii and et cetera, et cetera. So just know that you deserve to be here and to be, you know, showered with the flowers. So I told her that, and she was very thankful of that and the moment, and she was dope. I was really happy to know that she was really really cool, and yeah, the same with Ken the Man. Another artist who I did have the privilege of interviewing that has been dropping new music that doesn't seem to be received well is Saweetie.
Your bestie in a tessie.
Listen again. People are rappers. Period. Sometimes it's okay to stay in your lane. But the
I
thing
like
about Sweetie, I don't know. Here's a lady that I thought Sweetie was on. Sweetie is going to be the girl that's going to take a beat jack, as you said last episode, and
Mm-hmm.
kind of make it her own. We've seen her do it with like a Too Short record. We seen her do it with other records, and she kind of plays along with the rap kind of poppy vibe, and she's had some success. She's had some wins. I'm starting to think her wins are running low. It might be running out. I was talking to
Mm-hmm.
you and L via text last week, where I want to say you guys put me onto a tweet where it says her career is like an iPhone on 1%. Ouch. And I was
Mm.
like, I get the analogy, and yeah, it's funny, but what is this? What does it really mean? And I want to say it was you that said it just seemed like she just won't die already. Like as far as like the career,
The
like it just
career
seemed like she just won't.
is hanging
Like we
on.
on 1%, it's just hanging on for dear life. And I'm like this. Okay, again, it's hard to not hang on, especially when you acquire some success. There's some success
Mm.
that a lot of us may never see as far as rappers are concerned. It's hard to get that
Mm-hmm.
one hit. Try not to be a
Mm-hmm.
one hit wonder. I don't think she's that. I think she got a few hits under her belt.
She does.
But I think Sweetie is a great. I think she should model. I think Sweetie should act. I think Sweetie should be modeling like for MAC, like a makeup campaign. I want to see
Wait,
her in
what?
movies. I want to see her in TV shows. This is really how I feel about Sweetie. I think Sweetie would be great. Like, let's say she was in a film and she did like the soundtrack. It had a song or two on there. If she did a TV show, she's singing the theme song. If she was, modeling, I think she would be great at that. I just think maybe rapping, she might have ran her course. And I think it's because where we are in hip hop right now, especially in female rap, there's a lot of great talent. Doechii,
Mm-hmm.
Rhapsody. You mentioned Mona Leo. We got what's her name? Something baby. It's not hitting me right now. Ooh, I love her voice. She's the daughter of the one that has a song on. It's killing me. But the point I'm trying to make is that I just feel like I don't want to sound bad. Real talent is really starting to make it's really starting to like have a resurgence where people just ain't with the gimmicky shit no more. We're holding everybody's feet to the fire. We're holding your feet to the fire now. We want our female rappers to be talented. We want good music. We need it because you don't want us to look like a freaking joke. This is why they took away the category of best female rapper in the Grammys because it was looking like a joke after a while. It was like no one's really making any strides. Now we got people making strides. And they're not only doing that because of any other reason, for the most part, because they're talented. I think Saweetie, again, has a lane. I just don't think rapping is it anymore. I think she should quit. That's all I got.
I'm not going to say the girl should quit. I'm not. Whenever
That's
you
all I
drink the
got,
water,
man.
I die laughing. But I'm not. I'm not going to say the girl should quit because if we're going to say that there is a lane for her, um, you know what? Let me be myself in this moment. I'm going to be myself in this moment. I want her to realize when the time is up. I don't want anyone to push her into it. I want her to go into the light and find the wave that best suits her. If rap is no longer it, then so be it. And I don't want her to go out drowning, like flailing her arms, like notice me, because when you brought up when we were talking in the group chat about Sweetie, I didn't know that she released something in August. I had to go back out and check. Like, why are we even bringing this up? Because she actually released, I believe, an album or maybe an EP, and I was like, wow, she doesn't have as much traction as she did. And to be fair, like her songs, they sound similar to the other hits that she's had. So she's not losing steam or messing with the formula, so to speak. It's just that, like you said, it's in the best way possible. We're holding people's feet to the fire. The gimmicky stuff, it's not going to work anymore. So you either got to come correct or you just have to realize that the expiration date is already passed and you just have to pivot into something else. And I want her to realize that for herself. And I think maybe after what happened with this album, she may be there.
Here's what I will say. I have a great idea for you, sweetie, if you're listening and if you care. I think because I mentioned you acting and doing other things. I think what will help you if you want to stay in the music industry and rap, you have to do these things simultaneously. And this is what I mean by that, although we know what simultaneous means. But you see like what's happening with another one that people may want to call a plant on gimmicky, Ice Spice. I believe Ice Spice dropped some new music, but it's at the same damn time as her movie appearance alongside Denzel and working with Spike Lee. So it's like, it looks like it's probably bigger than what it is. And the thing about Saweetie, you girl, gorgeous girl. You know what I want to say, beautiful gowns. But you can capitalize on that beauty. And at the same time, when you're featured in a film or featured on a TV show, that's when you should release music. Because it's forcing us to look at all dynamics.
I'm gonna stop you because you're giving advice that people pay for. Don't stop.
Okay. See, but this is why I'm here, and I really care because I think you're right. You know, it's hard to tell somebody, girl, just quit. I think if you're not going to quit music, you just have to be strategic about it. You know what I mean? Put out some music at the same time. Put out an ad campaign of modeling for a brand or some type of like brand ambassadorship. I think that would be brilliant because now it all coincides, and it's like, oh yeah, this is cute. She rapping because your music is hip hop beat. So it's like I love the song you had with Doja Cat. That's my best friend. Like, it was poppy. It was fun. This is my bestie in the Tesla. Like, having a commercial with Tesla would have been the move at that time while that song came out. I'm not even sure if you did that, but that's what I mean when it comes to you. And I think that's something that you need to look into. I saw you doing things with BMF. At that time, you could have dropped music that was inserted into that TV show that they can piggyback off of each other, the success of you acting, the success of you modeling, at the same time doing the music. I called it the T.I. effect when it comes to the King album, favorite album. Was that the King album? Probably wasn't the King album, although that's my favorite album. But remember when he did the ATL movie, and at the same time he had an album, and I just feel like when those two worlds blend, it was like the success of the movie helped the success of his album. And I think that was very smart on T.I.'s part. And to this day, it's like one of the best moves that an artist made. And I think that's something that Saweetie should take heed to. That's where I'm at with it. That's it.
Girl, I think they're on the same page as you because she had her appearance in BMF and BMF was running. It ran into August, so I think they tried. You know, it just depends on what brand deals you get and if it's able to just click at the same time. Not everybody has not everybody has like the marketing team that some of these people have, whereas they're able to get Louis Vuitton and all of these brands.
Here's what I will say. Saweetie got a bomb ass team. That girl did SNL at a time where I was like, how did she pull this off? And the thing that I didn't like about it, she didn't deliver on SNL. It was so disappointing. It was so flat. She just needs to be better as an artist. It's like, again, we're not playing right now. We got Doechii. We got Doja Cat. Hell, we still got Nicki Minaj dropping music. So it's like, we got Rhapsody. We got people that's really out here doing their thing, and we ain't got time for you to be playing with it. Like, stop playing with it. I mean, hell, SNL? No. You wasn't ready for that, but you got the opportunity. And every time I look up, I'm like, Saweetie's getting these opportunities, but wow. But you know what, girl? I gave my advice. Hopefully you take heed to it. I think it'll work for you because, you know, I'm still rooting for the girls. But just, you know, hey, it is what it is. Now, moving on. We're going to end this with a debate that I saw from the guys. You know, people think that I'm about women in hip hop. I'm not just all about women in hip hop. I'm a hip hop girl. Shout out to my last video that I did, Rap It Along, Tupac with Pain. That went viral. I don't even know why y'all liked it like that, but I guess it was not normal to see a fly chick rap along to Tupac's Pain. Shout out to the Above the Rim soundtrack. But thank y'all for the love. It seemed like y'all really enjoyed it. So I say that to say your girl is well versed in male rap as well. And one of the conversations that I saw happening on a new podcast with Jim Jones, Dave East, Maino, and Fabolous.
That conversation was
You originally,
hilarious.
I'm happy when these guys start tapping into their podcast bag. Why not? I see Joe, Fat Joe. I see Jada Kids doing their thing. I'm enjoying it. I think everybody, why not get a podcast? It's not oversaturated. Just do your thing. Just be good at it. They had a conversation on there as far as the men who are the flyest men from what borough? What borough is considered the flyest when it comes to like gear and all that stuff? I have my take on it, so let me give it to you. I moved here in 2002, so I have a say so, okay? It's been over 20 years I've been here, and I've seen the men do their thing when it comes to the fashions in New York. And I have to give it up to Harlem. I think Harlem has the flyest men. I think Harlem is the flyest borough. And the reason why is because Harlem is known to be flashy. They gonna coordinate their outfit. If they wearing some Air Maxes that's pink and green, believe the socks may be, green and this. I mean, when it comes to that, the flashiness, I'd say they take their fashions very seriously. I always said that the minute I moved here, I said, Harlem niggas kind of remind me of Detroit niggas when it comes to the fashion. And we know Detroit don't play with the fashions either. So I always compare the two when it came to that when I first moved here. And like I said, it's been 20 plus years. So I've been consistently saying Harlem niggas is the flyest. Shout out to Dapper Dan. Shout out to Cameron, Dipset. Even now with Tiana Taylor, A$AP Rocky, I always felt like Harlem held it down. Brooklyn, y'all get busy. I'm not saying Brooklyn doesn't get busy. Brooklyn kind of scares me though, especially with the men. Y'all could be a little aggressive and assertive. So I lived in Brooklyn for a couple of years at one point. Shout out to East 31st and No Shirt. Shout out to East 94th and Rutland, Kings Highway. I've made my way to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, y'all get busy, but the saying is true. Manhattan makes it, Brooklyn's gonna take it. Every time I went out with a Brooklyn nigga, I felt like either I was gonna get robbed or we was gonna rob somebody else. So it kind of felt like it. That's always been my take with Brooklyn. It's not that y'all don't look fly. Shout out to Biggie. I saw people give a list of the Brooklyn niggas that stayed fly. Biggie, to me, with the Coogee and all that, I honestly felt like, even when Tupac said, I showed you Versace, I showed you how to get fly. I think when you look at Biggie's old look when he came out, he was a little more gully. And I just think Brooklyn is a little more gully when it comes to the fashions. I feel like Jay-Z is hip hop's biggest homie. He's the big homie. So he's a trendsetter. I think people follow him. I saw people say, he the one. I think Fabolous was like, he told y'all to wear button ups. Yes, he did. He told y'all to stop, putting these big rims on the car. Wear the factory rims. I just think he showed y'all didn't have to wear the oversized t-shirts. Wear something that actually fits. As hip-hop grew, Jay-Z grew, and people followed. But I never looked at Brooklyn as the winner of the fashion. Queens don't know how to dress. I've always said that. Shout out to my Queens niggas, though, because Queens get the money. But Queens, the thing that I love about Queens dudes, y'all money is quiet. Y'all really get to it, but y'all don't wear it. Y'all not flashy. And I prefer that when it comes to me personally. I think how Queens is fly when it comes to the look is that you got to look at their women. The money shows up in the women that they're dating. They don't necessarily have to have it on them because they really get into the bag. So I don't knock Queens for not having necessarily a fashion sense personally, but spend the money on me. Yeah. So shout out to all my Queens niggas that I used to date back in the day. Y'all took care of me. I was spoiled. But I will always look at y'all to be like, y'all really don't be trying out here. Y'all just throw on a hoodie and some jeans or some sweats and some tills and keep it pushing. I ain't mad at that. Ice me up though. So that's that's that. The Bronx, I'm a pass on that one. And Staten Island, the forgotten borough. I think y'all got some great looking men. Holla at Method Man, Wu-Tang, like Ghostface. I feel like y'all look great. A bit eccentric, but I wouldn't say y'all the fashion winner. So I'm gonna give it to Harlem. I think Harlem is a winner when it comes to the fashion killers. What you got, Kimmy? Let me hear you.
All right, so um I don't know where to start because I do agree that Harlem does remind me of Detroit. It is very flashy. It is very pink fur, pink bandana, pink Tims. It does give players ball for Harlem. In terms of best fashion, obviously I'm gonna go with Brooklyn. Brooklyn, it has all kind of layers. So we do have people that get flashy out here. We do have the gully side, and then we do have the tip top side. We do have the matchy side. I feel like you get different flavors in Brooklyn, and you get we have people like Fab. I think Fab can dress. I think he had a better go of it when I think Emily was styling him. Um, Now it's kind of hit or miss sometimes. But Biggie, Jay has been a person who moves the culture in terms of how people look at things, but in terms of how people dress, I think when he first came out, his style was more reflective of what people looked like in Brooklyn. But when he moved to the button downs, I think only certain people followed that because we were still doing the Avorexes, we were still doing Moschino, we were still doing Versace, we were still doing all of that. So I think it just depends on your age group, but Brooklyn always takes it. It's always there. Because even if you come outside right now, you still gonna see some pretty drippy people out in Brooklyn. What you said about Queens is mean, but I don't know if I disagree. I agree. You can see it in the women, boy. I know it's money out there because the girls be looking fly. The guys, not so much. I agree. I agree. I agree.
What I said.
I can't.
I prefer that. I don't need you to be drippy. Again, this debate is who or what guys or what borough is the best when it comes to fashions.
I
And
think it's Brooklyn. It's Brooklyn all the way.
I'm gonna say about Harlem, but shout out to Brooklyn. Like I said, y'all get busy. I'm scared of y'all though. Y'all girly over there. Y'all always got y'all tech in the lab. But shout out to my girl, Little Kim, Foxy Brown, the ladies in rap. Y'all definitely held it down on the fashion sense because I grew up wanting to be y'all and look like y'all. So I can't disrespect Brooklyn. I do think if it was a battle, a two-way battle, it would be Brooklyn and Harlem. I'm just swaying more towards Harlem.
Yeah. Yo, you know what I wanted to mention before we go, because I know we got to wrap up in a little bit, but Little Kim actually performed this weekend at the Cousins Festival, and she did really good. I was so happy to see her. She did good. Did you see any of the clips from her performances?
I did not. So please send it to me. But one thing I would say about
Will
Little
do.
Kim, and I've said this multiple times, there's no one in hip hop, female rap history that has better stage presence
Mm,
than Little Kim.
mm,
Little Kim, I don't care what y'all say about my girl, because y'all be disrespectful. That girl know how to work that stage from back in 96 even to today. I'm Little Kim's biggest fan. That girl got breath control. She know how to work that crowd. Little Kim has always been that girl for me. So there's no shocker over here that you said she killed it.
mm,
But there's a few other girls that's why I'm a fan of the girls that really know how to work the stage. And Doechii is one. Doja Cat is one. Um, and that's why I'm rooting for girls like that and attending their tours because I love seeing them work the stage and have the breath control. Latto is one too that I think a lot of people don't get credit for. That girl know how to work the stage and she know how to work a crowd. So
mm.
thank you for telling me about that. I gotta check my girl Little Kim out. Love you, mama. Queen B is in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn. And that is a wrap here for Women in Hip Hop Podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the last episode and joining the conversation. And Kimby Cakes, thank you for being here with me and holding it down. You are great. You are my girl. And please come back. You're welcome back anytime you want to come in here and talk your ish. You can do it right here on Women in Hip Hop Podcast. And I will see you guys later. Deuces.
Thank you.